Discover a life-changing journey with The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This book guides you through four powerful principles. Speak with integrity, don't take anything personally, avoid assumptions, and always do your best. These simple yet impactful concepts will transform your communication, strengthen your relationships, and boost your self-esteem. Embrace a life of truth, understanding, and personal freedom. Say goodbye to unnecessary suffering and self-doubt. These agreements are your toolkit for a happier, more fulfilled life. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity and say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Imagine yourself as a skilled sculptor. Each word you utter is a stroke of your chisel, shaping the world around you and the image you present of yourself. When you are impeccable with your word, it's like using your chisel with precision and care, creating a masterpiece that represents the best of you and uplifts those around you. This is a journey not just about communicating with others, but also about discovering and refining your own inner voice. You see, words are not just sounds or written symbols. They are the force, they are the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. But like a double-edged sword, they can create the most beautiful dream or your worst nightmare. It's your choice how you wield them. Your words are seeds, and the world you experience is the harvest you reap from those seeds. Plant words of love, growth, and encouragement, and watch as your garden flourishes. In the realm of truth and love, words are the fabric through which our intentions weave their reality. When we speak with integrity, saying only what we truly mean, we send out arrows of honesty that pierce through the murkiness of deception and misunderstanding. This doesn't mean that you always have to be blunt or hurtful. It means your words should align with your true intentions. Like a skilled musician playing a harmony, your words should resonate with the melody of your true self. But what about when we speak against ourselves? When we use phrases like, I'm not good enough, I'm too this or too that, it's like using that sculptor's chisel to chip away at our own foundation. It's self-sabotage. The words you speak create your reality. And when you belittle yourself, you are building a prison out of your own words. Consider for a moment a tree that whispers to itself in the wind, I'm not strong enough to withstand the storm. That tree begins to believe it, and so it does not try. Do not be like that tree and affirm your strength, your capability, your worth. And gossip is like a wildfire. It spreads quickly and can be incredibly destructive. It often stems from a place of boredom, anger, or jealousy. When you gossip, you're using your words to paint a distorted picture of someone else, impacting not only how others see them, but how they see themselves. In this way, you're not only harming the subject of your gossip, but also yourself. It erodes trust and creates an environment of suspicion. Like throwing pebbles into a pond, the ripples of your words travel far and wide, affecting more than you can see. Now, let me tell you a short story. There was once a young musician who was incredibly talented, but also extremely critical of himself. Every time he made a minor mistake while playing, he would whisper to himself, I'm such a failure, I'll never be good enough. This negative self-talk began to take a toll on him. His performances suffered, and what was once a source of joy became a source of immense stress. Then one day, an older musician, noticing the young man's struggle, told him, your words are the music you play to yourself. If your music is full of harsh notes and dissonance, that's the soundtrack of your life you're composing. Why not create a symphony that uplifts and inspires you? This message struck a chord with the young musician. He began to change his internal dialogue. When he made a mistake, he would instead say, that's okay, I'm still learning. Or, every mistake is a step towards mastery. This shift in his words transformed his perspective. His performances improved, but more importantly, his enjoyment and love for music were rekindled. So, you see, being impeccable with your word is not just about avoiding lies or gossip. It's about using your words to create a positive impact on yourself and others. It's about speaking with love, with kindness, and with honesty. When you do this, you align yourself with the best version of who you are. Remember, you have the power to shape your world with your words. Use them wisely, use them kindly, and use them truthfully. Let your words be a reflection of the love and integrity that resides within you. And as you do this, watch as your world transforms into a more honest, loving, and fulfilling place. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. Be the sculptor of your reality, shaping it with the beauty and precision of your words. This is the power you hold. This is the power of being impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Picture yourself as a vast, serene ocean. Waves of opinions, words, and actions from others crash against you, but you, the magnificent ocean, remain unaffected. Their words are like pebbles thrown into your vastness. They create ripples but cannot disturb the depth of your being. This is the essence of not taking anything personally. You see, each person is living in their own dream, their own version of reality. Their words and actions are a reflection of their inner world, not yours. Like actors in their own play, what they say and do is part of the script they've written for themselves, where you are merely a character. Understanding this is liberating. Let's take a deeper look with a metaphor. Imagine every person as a planet, each with its own atmosphere, environment, and weather patterns. When someone acts towards you in a certain way, it's like a storm on their planet, not yours. Their storms, their weather are not about you, just as the weather on Mars is not determined by the Earth. Now consider this story. There was once a painter renowned for his beautiful landscapes. One day a critic came and harshly criticized his latest work, saying it was dull and lifeless. The painter felt hurt initially, but then realized something important. The critic was seeing the painting not with the painter's eyes, but through his own lens, colored by his personal tastes, experiences, and expectations. The painter understood that the criticism was more about the critic's perspective than about his art. He chose not to take the criticism personally and instead continued to paint with his own vision. This story illustrates that when you take things personally, you are giving away your power. You are allowing someone else's perspective to define your reality, your worth. But when you don't take things personally, you retain your power. You stay in control of your own narrative. Remember, you have the right to your own reality. When someone says something about you, they are really just expressing their reality, not yours. If someone says you're not good enough, it's not a statement about you, but a reflection of their beliefs and limitations. But how do you practice this? Start by observing. When someone's words or actions trigger you, take a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this really about me or is it about them? More often than not, you'll find it's about them. Their words are their story, not yours. Also, cultivate self-love and self-worth. When you know your value, you are less likely to be shaken by others' opinions. You become like a mountain strong, majestic, immovable by the winds of words. Now imagine this. You're walking down a street and someone you don't know looks at you and says something unkind. You have two choices. You can let that comment ruin your day, make you doubt yourself, or you can realize that this person, a stranger, is dealing with their own struggles, and their words are a projection of those struggles. It's not about you. It's their story, their script. You just happen to walk into their scene. Don't take anything personally. This doesn't mean you don't care or you don't listen. It means you choose not to let others' opinions and actions dictate your self-worth or emotional state. You are the author of your story. Don't hand the pen to someone else. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Imagine you're in a dark room with a few scattered pieces of a puzzle. Each piece represents a fact or a fragment of reality. Now, if you start assuming what the complete picture looks like without finding all the pieces, you might end up convincing yourself of a reality that's far from the truth. This is what happens when we make assumptions. You see, assumptions are like untested theories. They're stories we tell ourselves that may or may not reflect reality. They are born from our fears, insecurities, and desires to control the unknown. It's like looking through a lens smeared with our past experiences, biases, and emotions, which distort the clear picture of the present. But why do we make assumptions? Often it's because asking questions and expressing our true desires requires vulnerability. It's admitting that we don't have all the answers. It's opening ourselves up to the possibility of rejection or discovering an inconvenient truth. However, it's also the pathway to genuine understanding and connection. Let me tell you a story. Once there was a couple deeply in love but increasingly unhappy. The woman assumed her partner was uninterested in her because he was quiet and withdrawn. She didn't express her feelings or ask about his behavior, and her assumption led to a feeling of loneliness and resentment. The man, on the other hand, was struggling with work stress and didn't want to burden her. He assumed she was busy with her projects and preferred space. Both suffered in silence, their love eroding under the weight of unspoken assumptions. One day, a close friend noticed their unhappiness and advised them to openly communicate. When they finally talked, they were surprised to discover the misinterpretations of each other's actions. This conversation was a turning point. It cleared the fog of assumptions, allowing them to see and understand each other's reality. This story illustrates how assumptions can create a barrier between our perception and reality, leading to unnecessary drama and sadness. When you assume you know what others are thinking or feeling, you're denying yourself the opportunity to truly understand them. You're also denying them the opportunity to understand you. How do you break this habit? Start by cultivating a mindset of curiosity. When you find yourself assuming something about someone, pause and ask yourself, do I really know this to be true? Can I find out more? Replace assumptions with questions. Questions are the tools that dismantle the walls of assumptions, allowing the light of truth and understanding to shine through. Fighting against assumptions is a monumental task given our very makeup. We're hardwired for survival, where assuming the rustling in the grass is a deadly snake, not just the wind, could mean the difference between life and death. This instinct, crucial for our ancestors, now plays out in your daily life, often leading to misjudgments and misunderstandings. Recognizing and overcoming these deep-seated survival mechanisms is challenging yet vital. It's about rewiring your instincts to thrive, not just survive. Transform these assumptions into informed decisions and watch as you navigate life with greater clarity and purpose. It's your journey to reprogram your instinctual responses for a more fulfilling life. Also, learn to communicate your needs and desires clearly. It can be challenging, especially if you're not used to it, but it's a powerful way to avoid misunderstandings. Clear communication is like giving someone a map to your thoughts and feelings. It helps them navigate your world more effectively. Now imagine you're in a situation where you're unsure of someone's intentions. Instead of assuming the worst, ask them. Approach the conversation with openness and a desire to understand, not to confront. This approach not only clears misunderstandings, but also builds deeper connections. Remember, when you don't make assumptions, you open yourself up to a world of clarity and deeper understanding. You create a space where honesty and transparency can thrive. This doesn't just transform your relationships with others, it transforms your relationship with yourself. You become more aware of your thought patterns, more in control of your reactions, and more at peace with the uncertainty of life. By embracing this agreement, you embark on a journey of discovery of truths about others, and importantly, truths about yourself. You learn to navigate the world not with a blindfold of assumptions, but with the clear sight of curiosity and open communication. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Envision yourself as an artist painting on the vast canvas of life. Each stroke you make with your brush represents your actions and efforts. Some days your brush dances with the vibrant energy of health and inspiration, painting bright, bold strokes. Other days, weighed down by illness or fatigue, your strokes may be fainter, less defined. Yet each stroke, bold or faint, contributes to the masterpiece of your life. This is the essence of always doing your best. Your best is not a fixed mark. It's a variable that fluctuates with your circumstances. Like a tree that bends in the wind but doesn't break, you too can flex with your challenges, understanding that your best is different when the winds are calm versus when they're howling. Consider this metaphor. Life is like the ocean, with tides of highs and lows. Your best is like a sailboat on these tides. Sometimes the winds are favorable, and you glide swiftly across the waters. Other times the winds are scant, and your progress is slow. But whether fast or slow, what matters is that you're navigating the waters to the best of your ability. Let me share a story with you. There was a young girl who loved to dance. She dreamed of performing on the grandest stages. However, a sudden illness left her weak. She could no longer leap as high or spin as swiftly as she once did. Yet she continued to dance, putting her whole heart into each movement, no matter how small or gentle. Her performances may not have had the same physical vigor, but they were filled with soul, passion, and the beauty of her spirit. Her audiences felt it, and they were moved deeply by her performances. This young dancer embodied the principle of always doing your best. This story teaches us that doing your best doesn't mean pushing yourself to the point of breaking. It means understanding your current limitations and working within them. It's about giving what you can at the moment. Remember, doing your best also means being kind to yourself. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism when we compare our current best to our past performances. But this is like comparing the strength of a sapling to a fully grown tree. Both are doing their best at their respective stages of growth. Always doing your best also means preparing for the moments when you can give your best. This preparation is both physical and mental. It's nurturing your body with healthy habits and your mind with positive thoughts. It's about creating an environment where your best can thrive. When you commit to always doing your best, you live a life free of regret. You know that, given the circumstances, you couldn't have done more. This knowledge brings a sense of peace and fulfillment. Now, imagine you're facing a challenge and you're tempted to give up because you can't do as well as you used to. Instead of succumbing to frustration, acknowledge your current best. Give what you can with all the passion and effort you possess. Your best is enough. It's more than enough. Always doing your best is not about the outcome, it's about the effort. It's the commitment to that effort, in sickness and in health, in good times and bad, that defines the quality of your life. Now it's your turn to take action. Embrace the wisdom of the 4 agreements and start your journey towards a more fulfilling life. Each day, practice speaking with integrity, not taking things personally, avoiding assumptions, and always doing your best. Watch as these simple yet powerful principles transform your relationships, boost your self-confidence, and bring you closer to the life you've always desired. Don't wait for change to happen. Be the change. Start living these agreements today and unlock the door to a new world of possibilities and personal growth. Your journey to a better you begins now. If this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.